human rights, this LBGT, sexual orientation and discrimination, the vote that happened, Ghana abstained. If he can brief us exactly what happened and what it is about. Because
was he not voting?
Sorry?
Was he not voting?
Mr. Speaker, it was...
So do you give reason for voting?
Mr. Speaker, he abstained. Mr. Speaker, the narration... Mr. Speaker, he abstained on LBGT. Recently, last week, two men were kissing at the Independence Square. And our foreign minister will go for such important thing and abstain.
Honorable Chief Whip, Honorable Deputy Chief Whip, how many types of voting do we have? You can either vote aye, you vote no, or you abstain. So abstinence is a form of voting.
So, Mr. Speaker, my point here is that Ghana and what actually is going on in our society is very bad. It is not good to an extent that last week two men were kissing at the Independence Square and our foreign minister will go and abstain from such important...
I have admonished.
Is it the case that he is in support of the LGBT or he is encouraging it?
Honorable Habib, I have admonished that we shouldn't be generating debates anytime we are doing a business statement. And I was compelled to put something on record, which I do not want to repeat. We all know what happened to the passage, during the passage, and after the passage of the LGBTQ bill. So why do we want to be repeating this matter and be provoking debates?
So, Mr. Speaker, my question to the and suggestion to the chairman of the committee is to find space and program the minister responsible for foreign affairs.
Is he the chairman that program or business committee?
Since he chaired the business committee to program the minister responsible for foreign affairs to brief the House, because the interpretation of what happened out there might not be the case. But what is real is that there was an abstinence from what? And then the fact that...
Yes, majority leader.
Speaker, I rise in pursuance of order 1221C. Mr. Speaker, by way of information, this is a House of Records. The matters that the First Deputy Minority Whip alludes to regarding the fact that two persons were seen kissing at the Independence Square was totally a falsehood. It was an AI-generated image posted by someone onto his social media handle. So my brother Habib has no document to stand on, predicate upon which he will be demanding that the Minister for Foreign Affairs be invited to speak to such matters and also to justify why we abstained from a certain vote at the UN. Mr. Speaker, like you rightly said, when you exercise your right to vote, there's no need for you to justify it. So, yes, by all means, we want to bring ministers to respond to serious matters, but no trivialities, Mr. Speaker, with all due respect. With all due respect. So, you are totally out of order.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know when the Majority Chief Whip assumed thinking for me. What you classify as trivial might not be trivial to me, Mr. Speaker. So that is your definitions and those are your words. Mr. Speaker, for him to also, it's a House of Record. What authority, what evidence do you have to prove that what happened at the Independence Square is an AI generated? You don't have such evidence. So if don't show me your phone, I can also show you the picture on my phone. When they were kissing, the two men were kissing. I can also show you the picture. So when you say it's an AI generated, allow me to make my point, Mr. Speaker. And you cannot determine what I should make in terms of making my point that the Foreign Affairs Minister should appear before us, because such votes is an important vote. When you were on this side, the bill, we had made a lot of noise about the LBG. It didn't pass. Yes, I agree, like Mr. Speaker said. But the minister owes us that responsibility. He's not He's not acting on his capacity as the MP for this, but he's doing that on behalf of all of us. So, Mr. Speaker, let me conclude on this matter so that we will not talk much about it. Mr. Speaker, the defense minister is just from supervising the beating of MPP people at Ablakwa, and he's here. He just returned from the supervision of beating Honorable Howard Kumsin and our deputy national organizer at Ablakwa. When will the interior minister brief us on the beating at Ablakwa?
Mr. Speaker, you see, we don't joke with everything. You can't assert on the floor of this house that the defense minister of all has just entered the chamber from supervising the beating of a former minister of state.
It's not fair.
It's absolutely unacceptable. It should be expunged from the records. It should. And you should apologize.
Honorable members, let me again admonish that though we have a constitutional immunity to speak on the floor of Parliament, whatever you say on the floor can also become a subject matter of privileges. So therefore, we need to be guided in making certain statements on the floor of the House. I do not know the evidence available to that effect. So I will consequentially direct that that statement that the defense minister has supervised the beating of somebody be expunged completely from the record. Yes.
Okay. Let me thank the Deputy Majority Leader who just presented the business statement for and on behalf of the Leader of the House. Speaker, a few issues I wish to bring to his notice, and hoping that we can have some conclusion or take some good decision in this regard. Speaker, may you, if I may refer Order 208. And Speaker, with your leave, I read Order 208. Compulsory membership, subtitle, compulsory membership of committees. And it says, a member shall be appointed to at least one standing committee and one select committee. Speaker, on this matter, it's been back and forth. And I am reliably informed that my colleagues on the other side in the majority have dispensed of the composition of their committees. We have done same. Speaker, we can't continuously stand in breach of our own orders, Order 208. And Speaker, we've had instances where members have taken cause to complain openly, both in whispers and openly, that some belong to only one committee. On our side, as of the last count, we had about 8 members who belong to only one committee. I want to plead with the chair of the business committee, to the extent that we have done the composition, let's go ahead, whether we are doing it by administratively, or we are going by taking a motion on the floor. We have to deal with it. This matter has been lingering for far too long, and it doesn't speak well of us. There are many of our colleagues who are first-time members of Parliament who just belong to a committee, and it's not good enough. It doesn't speak well of us. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we had the Minister for Trade and Agribusiness coming to the House to answer a number of questions. And among some of the declarations she made was that the erstwhile MPP administration's policy of 1D, 1F has been cancelled. Speaker, it can't just be, if it's the decision policy of government that the 1D, 1F policy should be cancelled, it's a decision of the executive. And since it's government policy, nobody can really question it. But the minister owns this house a duty, the people's representatives. She owns us a duty to give us the basis for the cancellation. And then most importantly, what are the transition measures? Because if we are no longer going to be stuck to the 1D, 1F, and there's going to be a new policy, what are the transition measures? Because there are a number of corporate entities who have signed on to this policy, and it cannot just be an abrupt abolition. That will not be too good for us as a country. Again, my respected Chief Whip, who is a lawyer, Chapter 6 of our Constitution, Directing Principle of State Policy, specifically Article 35(7). Government owes the people of this country a duty as practicable as possible to continue with programs started by the previous government. So I wish to humbly bring this to the notice to my deputy majority leader, that we must find a reason to get an absolute briefing on these decisions taken by the Minister for Trade and Agribusiness. Speaker, I commend the chair of the Business Committee. I see that I can realize the schedule for referrals that are outstanding have been duly attached, and is for our guidance and also to put some pressure on the committee leaders that they have to work. Again, the Minister for Local Government has been programmed to apprise us on the demolition of properties, which has generated a lot of public outcry. Then we have the Energy Minister, Energy and Green Transition.